Well now, I see you're finally awake. It seems that my servant's attempts to revive you have borne fruit after all. Ah, no, human. Do not try to stir from where you are. Best you stay down, at your ease, and simply soak up the warmth from my campfire. You are safe for the present. There are no terrible creatures nearby, and you are out of the water and not drowned, and that is enough. Stay seated here by my fire. Pull that woolen cloak a bit closer around you, and be warmed. Now the questions. I can see the questions rising in your eyes. So many, each one of them jostling the others to be the first past your lips. No questions just yet. First, you need a little more warming than my fire can provide. Something to warm you from within as well as without. If you look to your right, you'll find a large wooden bowl. It's full of a hot traveler's porridge. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate. Merely some water, salt, parched and ground grains, and some shreds of meat. Eat as much of it as you like. From the look of things, I think you need it. There. Yes. Simple, but satisfying. Keep eating. You'll find yourself quite hungry, I believe. And while you eat, I will answer your questions, one at a time. Yes, a very good start. Where are you indeed? You are in the Feywild, human, the land of fairies, and of dreams, and sometimes of demons. It may not seem so to you just now. This forest we are in does bear a striking resemblance to the mundane forests of your world. But all is not as it seems here. There are wonders and dangers lurking beyond every turn of the path, behind every tree trunk and leafy bush, beneath every fallen log or loose stone. How did you get here? That one may take a little guesswork. Since I was not here to witness your arrival, I could not say for certain. However, if one were to make some inferences from the pleasing scents arising from your body, and the very faint sheen of shimmering dust on your skin, one might be led to suggest that you arrived here via a vortex portal, perhaps one made in swirling water. I have it. The scents, the shimmering, and the location where my servants and I found you, floating face down in a forest pool not far from where we now sit. I fear, human, that you have fallen victim to the natural consequences of creating a swirling vortex within your own home, with one of those bath bomb contrivances your kind seems so fond of. Swept away into the Feywild while taking a bath. It would also explain your lack of clothing when we pulled you out of the pond. Worry not, lost one. You may cover yourself with the cloak for the present, and I'm certain other coverings can be found for you in due time. There is no need to feel ashamed. For the most part, we Fey folk cover ourselves only from necessity, to shield ourselves from the rigors of our environment, much as you humans do in the inhospitable climes you sometimes inhabit. Though, of course, there are some of the Fey folk who are of such kind as can tolerate wild extremes without the need for clothing. Many of the tree folk, the wood sprites, and those spirits which inhabit the mountains of fire. Ah, who am I, then? A most cogent question indeed. I shall tell you, but first, you look like you could use a little something to take the edge off of all this new knowledge you've obtained. Something to lessen the sting, as it were. Something to make this frightening world a little less so. Look to the ground in front of you. Just beneath that trailing corner of the cloak which covers you, you will find a small bottle of carven stone. Open it and take a drink. A small drink, mind, of the contents. It is an elderberry cordial. One of my servants has a special knack for the making of it. She says it gives strength to the heart and limbs, and warms the body in a way that food and fire cannot. It is exceedingly flavorful. Only a small sip, remember. Yes. And do eat some more of that delicious porridge as well. Now, to your question, who am I? You may call me Lockefeather. I suppose if I were to lay claim to any lofty titles, I might be called the Lord of this particular region of the Feywild. Lord of all that lies within the bounds of this forest, and of the hills and valleys and moors for many days' travel beyond. Yes, human, you sit by the campfire of a Fey Lord of some consequence. Be awed and amazed. Do you feel the food and the cordial warming you from within now? Good. Another question, then. Why can you not quite see me? Why, human, it is late at night in a dark region of the forest. There is no moon tonight, and we sit across from each other with only the glowing coals of my fire to cast what illumination they can. That alone would explain much, but there is also the veil of illusion I have woven about myself. The unsuspecting eye looking upon me would be hard-pressed to make out more than a tall figure, hooded and cloaked in leaves and vines. Indeed, were I to stand unmoving in the forest, I might be mistaken for only an old stump of a tree, or perhaps a vine-strangled statue marking an abandoned manor house. But for you, human, for you, this night, by my fire, I shall lift the veil. Look upon me as the other Fey Lords do. Yes, human, that is why they call me the Raven Lord. And now you have seen me in my natural form. Now that you have spoken with me and eaten my food and sat by my fire, let us talk of what is to become of you. Let us not forget, human, that you are here, in my domain, and that you are still breathing and not drowned as a result of my having rescued you. and I have given you hospitality by my fire, at my hearth, as it were, and by the traditions which govern the complex social interactions within the Feywild. This places you in my debt, and this is not a mere obligation placed upon you, something which it were better for you to repay than not. The debts incurred through hospitality become woven into the very being of the debtor, so that when I tell you, human, that now you must perform a favor for me of my asking, you must perform the deed. There is no avoiding it. I see by the look on your face, that slow dawning of comprehension. You understand the gravity of these matters. So, human, here is what you must now do to repay my hospitality and the further debt owed for saving you from drowning. Beyond the southernmost edges of my domain, there is a vast and forbidding forest, inhabited by a fiendish abomination called Vernaka. This demon, this very scourge of the forest, is a source of much terror to the simple Fey folk who are in my care in that region, the part which borders on the forest lair of that accursed bog witch. To put things very simply, I want you to rid that forest of the foul presence that is defiling it. I want you to find and destroy this bog witch demon Vernaka. She is an unnatural thing, a thing not belonging to the Feywild. She comes from outside, from elsewhere, from some place far beyond the ken of the Fey folk, a place where there are no rules governing anything. I want her gone. To that end, I am sending you to deal with her. You will be given suitable clothes and gear to aid in your traverse of the forest, and also a powerful weapon. Behold, human, the fang of the moon. It is a spear, the likes of which have seldom been held by human hands. It was made by Ruelves, forged from moon metal and star glass, with a shaft of bloodwood. It is carved all about with runes of power, and of killing, and of skill in battle and in stealth and sneaking. Whatever be your natural skills in such matters, human, while you wield this weapon, you will be a most formidable foe, even to the most ferocious of demons. But even the most battle-seasoned warrior has need of rest, and so too must you sleep before you set out upon this task you must perform for me. So now, human, I bid you lay yourself down on the ground by my campfire. Close your eyes, and sleep the sleep of the dreamless. In the morning, you will awaken elsewhere than this place. You shall find yourself provided with food and clothing, and by your side you shall find the fang of the moon. And before you, you will find the entrance to the deep, dark forest wherein dwells the bog witch Vernaka, whom you are to slay. In this task you must not fail me, human. To do otherwise than succeed will place you in violation of those laws we Fey folk hold to. So you must slay the demon. And when this has been done, when the fiendish abomination has been dispatched, you will return to me, guided by the same weapon I have provided you with, and you will present to me the head of the demon, that I may show it to all my folk as proof of the destruction of a terrible enemy. Go to sleep now, human. Go to sleep. Mighty deeds await you on the morrow. Sleep now.